Hey, welcome to the Monty Collier Report. I'm Monty Collier. Happy Thanksgiving. This is one of the few Calvinist holidays on the calendar. Most people don't know it's a Calvinist holiday because they've been dumbed down by public schools. But anyways, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to read you a couple of articles today. Well, not the complete article, just going to give you the titles and let you kind of think about it. You can read the whole article by yourself when you get a chance. First one comes from the Houston Chronicle. It's titled, Smile If You're in Downtown Houston. Homeland Security picking up tab for 250 to 300 surveillance cameras. Well, in this article, it tells us that Homeland Security is putting up hundreds of video cameras all over Houston to watch the Houstonians' every move. They're going to watch everything they do. Yeah, government's going to just be sitting there staring at you all day long. Don't you feel safe? Doesn't that make you feel safe, knowing that the government is watching your every move? Well, if you're a mindless fool, you might feel safe. Yeah, if you're one of these people who do not believe in Calvinistic theology, maybe you are dumb enough to buy into this Homeland Security Nazi propaganda. But for those of us who understand Calvinism, for those of us who still believe, there's not many, but those of us who hold to total depravity, those of us who believe in original sin, we know better. You see, when a society ceases to hold to Calvinistic thinking, then that society will fall under the reign of tyrannical rulers who will watch their every little move and rule them with a boot on their face. That's what's going to happen. It's already happening, and you're witnessing it. You see, in Calvinism, we believe in original sin. We believe that all people are born sinners. We believe that they are totally depraved. We believe they do not have any good in them. And in fact, they have a natural proclivity to sin. Inclined to do evil, not good. This means they can't be trusted. You just simply can't trust men because they're sinners. And what do sinners do? They sin. Now, so, the government, now pull up a chair and listen carefully. The government is made up of, you guessed it, men. Men who are totally depraved, who are inclined to sin. Men who will sin when they get a chance. Now, our founding fathers were Calvinistic. They understood that because government's made up of men, it's probably not a good idea to give these men too much power. So if you give these men in government a whole lot of power, they're going to do a whole lot of sin. If you give them a little bit of power, well, they can only do a little bit of sin. So what do you think our founding fathers, Calvinistic and smart as they were, what did they do? Well, they limited the power of the government, and then they separated the power. That keeps them from being as mean as they could be, or at least it prevents it to some extent. Can't stop it completely. That's why your president can only be president for so many years. He can't be president as long as he lives. Don't want no sinner in there that long. Good Lord. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and read you another article just for those people who think they feel safe when the government watches them with surveillance cameras. I'm going to read you another article. This one's about government, okay? Hold on. Here's an article from the MichiganView.com. It's titled, Mr. Smut Goes to Washington. Here's what it says. While November's election brought a tsunami of change to Michigan policies, some incumbents are untouchable. So untouchable, apparently, that they are openly reading girly magazines on their trips to and from Washington. Detroit Congressman John Conyers was caught on camera in a late July flight to D.C. this summer ogling a Playboy magazine, end quote. Don't you feel safe? Don't you want your government watching your every move? I mean, when they're not looking at pornography, don't you want them watching you? Don't you want them stalking you? Don't you want these pornographic consumers just looking at your every little move, looking at your daughters and your wife? Don't you feel safe having these people who are consuming pornography watching your... Yeah, you feel safe now? They're totally depraved. They're sinners. Now, it is God's law that restrains sinners, not video cameras. Okay, it's God's law that does that. What brings actual comfort to people? Again, it's not cameras. It's only the gospel. That's it.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.